Hey folks, let's learn something new about the oil and gas industry. All right, it's time. We're gonna do our predictions for 2017. Historically, this is what we call the business drivers for each year, right? We've done 2014, 2015, 2016. This year we're just changing the title. So this is the oil and gas predictions for 2017. Let's do it. Number one, petrochemicals. Petrochemicals will be a huge business globally. Methanol, ammonia, ethylene, polypropylene, fertilizers, plastics, all that's going to be huge because the raw feedstock is so abundant and so cheap here in the US. Might be a good time if you look at buying some BASF or Dow stock because of that. Next thing, we're entering into a global ethylene shortage. If you don't know what ethylene is what ethylene crackers take out of natural gas and help convert into plastics, think polyethylene. So it's a raw feedstock of plastics. Globally, demand for this is going through the roof and the supply is not there. That's driving a lot of business. Look at all the ethylene crackers that are being built here in the US and globally. So another major oil and gas prediction 2017 is the ethylene shortage. Then, offshore standardization, the holy grail, right? This industry is a long-term, low crude price environment, which means that we have to drive cost out. Historically, offshore, everything's built to suit, right? So Exxon builds a platform its way for this part of the world, Anadarko builds a platform this way for its part of the world, and everything's different. The trees, the manifolds, everything's unique. That needs to go away, and it will. We're just now starting to see the beginning of that. All the majors got together and signed a memorandum of understanding to start looking at standardization, even though they're competitors. This is huge. Then, and everybody can say I'm crazy, at the end of 2017, we're going to see inflation in the service industry on land, right? There's not going to be enough people, enough pumps, enough parts. We're going to see prices go up. We're not there yet, but at the end of 2017, you actually start seeing inflation for the service companies on land. Then, we're in this long-term hydrocarbon abundant world. Oil and gas is everywhere. We don't know what to do with it, right? You need to think about that. Because it's long-term hydrocarbon abundant world, prices are going to stay low for a very, very, very long time, right? Which is going to drive different business models. And that is just, it's actually a good thing. The price is going to stay high enough where companies can still make money, but low enough so that the population benefits from this abundant, cheap energy. It's a great thing. Then, because of that, expensive oil is dead. High pressure, high temperature, ultra deep water, North Sea, dead. Sorry, right? But that in itself is driving business. So when you think about the North Sea, the decline in North Sea, you have all these opportunities for decommissioning that nobody's looking at yet. You're looking at 50 years, maybe even 100 years of decommissioning work. That's a lot of money to be made to be taking these platforms offline. So just because expensive oil is dead, don't think there's not business opportunities. Now that expensive oil will come back as we improve technologies and as we reduce costs somewhere in the future, another 20 or 30 years or so, that oil will come back, but we're not there yet. Then, the basic fundamentals of the oil and gas industry is changing right now. We're seeing a transformation. So the typical start out in the field when you're 18 years old, work your way through the company, you end up running parts of the business, that's gone. All of the senior guys, a lot of them have left the industry. The new people that are coming to this industry are young, but they've never been on a well. They've never picked up a torque wrench. So fundamentally, this industry is changing, and I actually think it's changing for the better. Then, here's a big one. Unconventionals, they go global. The shale plays here in the US, geology is not unique here. That same geology is in China, it's in Russia, it's in Africa, it's in Europe. And you're starting to see the beginnings of unconventionals going global. Once again, it's going to keep hydrocarbons cheap because there's so much oil and gas out there. Then, for the first time in American history, we have the most politically conductive administration for the oil and gas industry ever, right? I'm expecting a lot out of this administration. I'm expecting to see a lot of the teeth being removed from the EPA, which is a good thing. I'm expecting federal lands being opened up for drilling. I'm expecting a lot of the executive actions that hurt the oil and gas industry to be rescinded. And what I think is really cool is for the first time in my lifetime, people that are put in political office during this administration for the oil and gas industry are actually from the oil and gas industry, not politicians. That's good for all of us. And then finally, number 10, the last thing, prediction, land rules. Sorry, land rules. I'm looking at all the CapEx budgets for all the majors out there. They're shifting their budgets. They're reducing their offshore spend, but they're increasing their land spend. Once again, that's a great opportunity if you can get ahead of that. So there we went through it really quick, our 10 predictions for oil and gas for 2017. If you like this, if you found it valuable, can you do me a favor? Over here, there's some share buttons where you can share on your social media. Can you do that? And then anybody that has an interest in this, what we're talking about, can you just kind of forward them our blog post? It helps us spread the word and reach more people. So folks, I hope this helped. We will see you next time.